This is not my average YouTube video. Today, I will be taking you inside my thought process and exact practice routine when preparing for a major championship. 297, well, I'm a psycho, so I'm gonna go for it. Go! Run up there! So when I'm prepping for a major championship, I dedicate 2 or 3 days fully getting ready in every facet of my game ready for the test at hand. Whatever it is, it could be the British Open, could be the US Open, could be the Masters, could be the PGA, doesn't matter. When I'm prepping for a major championship, I take into consideration the grass conditions, where I'm gonna be practicing, the sand conditions, how I'm gonna be practicing, what do I need to work on, what things am I lacking, what things am I doing well. I wanna note what things I'm doing well, understand why I'm doing them well, and 2, wanna see what I'm not doing well at, and wanna really get a good sense, a good understanding of why I'm not doing well in those aspects of my game and work on them diligently for a brief amount of time, because you want to make sure your whole game is well-rounded. For a major championship, you have to make sure everything's well-rounded. So that's what I do in practice. I'll probably spend most of my time practicing rather than playing, but we're going to give you a little bit of an insight into how I think on the golf course when prepping for a major championship. But for the most part, practice, that's where you get the job done.
Is there a difference in your practice or approach from tournament to tournament depending on the course? Like if it's Augusta or if it's a US Open course? Or...
Yes, Augusta is definitely more iron play based. Pinehurst was all about chipping around the greens and iron play into the golf course, so I was working really hard on my irons, especially leading up. Houston the week before was working on the irons, and then I really figured something out nicely that week on Tuesday that just led me to the major championship there. But again, I start to focus more on what's required for those tasks at hand. Now look, if you're just an average amateur golfer and you're trying to get better, focus on the things that you're struggling with, for sure. If you're a professional and you're trying to get on tour or make a cut or whatever, same principle applies. You're just at a different level. You have to work on the things you're not doing well at. You got to be comfortable with working on things that you're uncomfortable with. So all I'm trying to say is once you get to a certain level, you got to make sure that your good stuff is good and your bad stuff is better. That's really the ultimate goal of this practice session today. Is, do I feel the same way? 1, 2, is there anything I can do to improve upon what I'm doing currently? So I've already gone through and hit my wedges. My wedges feel great. Irons, they were okay. I felt like I was pulling a little bit, pushing a little bit, so I made one adjustment that I know works for me, and it worked out beautifully, which is keeping my weight more on my left-hand side. Long story short, you just got to dig it out of the dirt. You got to get out here and start practicing on what you're not good at. So hitting a couple drives, making sure you're comfortable with it. Driver curvature on the face hasn't changed. Looks solid from Nashville.
Yeah, after watching you in that last round of the US Open, this is definitely a key point to work on. Would you say range practice is more important or going out on the course when preparing for these types of tournaments?
It depends on how you practice. So I've talked about this before, but if you can hit the same shot over and over again, that's fantastic. But then you go to, okay, it's an end of the wind shot. So one key thing that I'll note is make sure you're on a range that has 2 sides. So when you're practicing for a tournament, there's a right to left wind on one side, there's a left to right wind on the other. Go practice in both of them, because you're gonna have shots, it's not the same shot all day long. If you don't have a good, comfortable understanding of how that feels, being a left to right wind or right to left wind, you're gonna get out there and fly blind, essentially. And you don't wanna do that. So I'll take a Bushnell, I'll have a number. Let's go to that top green, white flag, 117. So I'm gonna hit 3 different shots into it and just work on what shot's gonna be the most comfortable for me. Now I know what's gonna be the most comfortable, but everybody's different. So 117, I could hit a full, my 56 goes 125, I could hit a full 125, I know it's gonna be short. It's gonna go way too high, the wind's gonna be too into us, and it's gonna end up short. The next club is a 50 degree, which my full 50 degree is 140 to 45 shot, and I know it's gonna go too far. If I try to hit a 125 yard shot with a 50 degree, with a right to left wind into the wind, because it's 117, gonna play like 8, 9 yards into the wind, probably, it's gonna be too high. I can already tell. And the reason is once you get over 5 miles an hour, if you start launching your shots up in the air, it's gonna get affected so much. I'm talking like 10 to 15 yards. And you ultimately don't have control over the golf ball. So professionals that are really good with their wedges know how to flight and control their spin. I'm gonna go down to a 45 degree. So instead of a 50 degree, 45 degree, 5 degrees less of loft. And it's a 117 shot, gonna play 125. Now what this is gonna do is make it come out lower with less spin because it's less loft. A little bit less loft, a little less spin, and that's a perfect shot with no ripping back. That is how you control your wedges. Now you've got to be good at controlling the length of your shot, the length of your stroke to make sure you can have a shot come out like that. So when I'm prepping for major championships, especially the British Open that's coming up, I've got to make sure my iron shots are dialed when I'm hitting it below 50, 60 feet. You know, when I'm inside 150 yards and it's pumping into the wind, I gotta control that. I might even go to a pitching wedge. Now watch this. So 45 degree, now my pitching wedge, that's 40 degrees of loft. Now you can say it's whatever, but it's just 40 degrees of loft. I don't care. Whatever the club is, it's 40 degrees. So pitching wedge, play 125. So if it's really hurting into the wind, if it's 25 miles an hour into the wind like the British, I'll even take less swing on this, which will be around a 9:15. So like 9 o'clock. So where the hands get to about here and the club gets to parallel there. And I can hit this all the way there with little spin, and if anything, it's gonna run out. See how much lower that is? And that's gonna run a couple yards forward. So those are the shots and opportunities you get to have when you have this in your arsenal, where you can hit a pitching wedge, you can hit a 45 degree or a 50 degree. It's about having the shots in your toolbox. I look at it as a handyman, in a sense, having a screwdriver, pliers, and just numerous tools in the toolbox to be able to hit certain shots. In order to be a great golfer, you have to have all the tools in the toolbox. You may not have to have all of them perfect, but you gotta know how to hit them and when to hit them. If it's crazy amounts of wind, I can even take an 8-iron. So not even a 9-iron, but an 8-iron. And this may be useful. I've done this before at the British Open, where it's so much wind, it's 35 miles an hour wind, and you have to hit an 8-iron from 130 yards, 120 yards. Now it's not blowing that much, but I'll show you kind of the height of it. That was pushed right distance, and it's going to run out quite a bit. Let me do one more. So it's going to be just under. There we go. Look how little spin there is, and that's going to run and probably go over the green because there's not enough wind into us to stop that ball. So now you can start to see you can play all the golf clubs in the bag. You don't have to just hit a full shot all the time. You can use these tools effectively in different situations, especially when it comes to the British Open, when there's a massive amount of wind. Okay, everybody, now I'm gonna go play 9 holes. Gonna give you a little bit of an insight into how I prep for, this is prep for the British Open right here. Let's go. Should be good there. Yeah, it's perfect. All right. This is what I'm talking about. You got a wind in and off the right, 150-yard shot. 150, uphill a couple yards, into the wind, playing 165, 163, and I need a lower flight. Wind is in and off the right, the 2 o'clock position. I'm gonna go 9-iron. I'm gonna land it right around the hole. Side hill lie, a little right to left lie. So I know this is gonna move pretty hard right to left. So I'm gonna be aiming over that cart sign and trying to hit a nice little draw on there. Huh. Sit down. Sit. Oh my gosh, it's not into the wind. Well, that went far. So a little bit of a misread on the wind. That's where having DeChambeau on the bag can help sometimes. Be like, nah, man, it's not hurting. It's not hurting. I think the greens are soft enough though to flop it up there. It's about an 11-yard shot. What a lie I got. Yeah, I'll take that shot any day of the week. Left center, straight up the hill. There we go. Nice little par. What a good hole though. That back right tier is pretty tough. Everything falls off the front. It's a nicely designed hole. I like it. Okay, second hole is a par 5. Dogleg right. Water short of it. Oh, there's water at 370, I should say. So it's downwind. I might be able to get there today, but I don't know. We'll see. Should be perfect there. Left center of the fairway. Kind of drops off and goes down to the right, so I'm fine. I mean, I was trying to go right of that by 10 yards, but at that distance, I'll take it. This is a golf course we used to play in college, actually, called the Honors Course, and Albert Huddleston bought this golf course and made it into what it is today, and it is a beautiful sight to see. He did a really good job with it, and what a championship-style golf course. Brutal test of golf, by the way. Nearly impossible in some areas, which is good for us pros, because we need to be tested in all facets of our game, and we've got to be on point. Going and playing one of the hardest golf courses you know right before a tournament is a very good thing to do. Something I would highly recommend for everybody. just so they get comfortable being in difficult situations. That's what we're doing here. A quick shout out, guys, to today's sponsor for the video, Stitch Golf. They're the official apparel partner for the Crushers. They've been incredible. Products are awesome. They've got more than just shirts. They do a bunch of stuff. I mean, look, Stitch, see this? For sticks. They've got head covers, head cover there. I've been using this. This is the one I won the US Open with. It's so sick. And the funny thing is at the par 3 contest of the Masters, I used a Stitch golf bag. So it was a little carry bag, Sunday carry bag. If I wasn't a professional, I'd be using that bag every single day. It's the lightest, most convenient bag you could possibly use. If you guys want to check out some Crushers apparel, get yourself some merch, there's a link in the description below and a QR code if you want to go check it out. Back to business now, guys. 320, down off the right. I'm gonna make sure I miss this a little bit right here. That was an airplane going overhead. I'm gonna aim this now at the right edge of the green. So if you look at the green here, trouble is left of the pin. I wanna be able to chip from the right side up to the green. It's 320 to the flag, but I'm hitting 3 wood. It's downwind, gonna play 300. I got a Smokey Joe this one. Oh, be good. That was smoked. Oh, it just landed soft. What a good place to be though. Perfect place to try and get up and down from. This will be a great test for my wedges to see how good they are on these greens. These greens are actually pretty firm right now. I left it in a great spot, guys. That's where I wanted to leave it, but I thinned it just a little bit, didn't strike it as well. And the key is leaving myself in good positions and getting into that competitive mindset of, all right, where do I need to be? That's the goal in the game of golf. I mean, yeah, you can hit as good a shots as you want. You can be as repeatable as you want, but we're not all perfect, and being repeatable every single time is near impossible. So the next key after trying to be as repeatable as possible is leaving yourself in good places so you can get up and down. So they're firmer, and I want to roll this out, and it's upslope. There's a bit of an upslope, so I'm going to turn the face, the 60-degree club, I'm going to turn it down into the ground and hit kind of like a running, hooded shot. Now, where I want to land it is about 5 yards on and let it run up next to the pin. I'm going to start it at the end of the shadow. Go! Wow, they are a little slower. 8.5 feet. I got this just outside the edge. There's wind off the right. I feel like this is gonna break more. All right, that should be okay. I'm gonna play 2 inches outside the hole. Yeah, nice, very nice. That was awesome. I love seeing putts come off like that, just striped, and it's rolling exactly where I see it and exactly where it needs to go to get in the hole. That makes me happy. Yeah, 1 under through 2, guys. Par 5, I have an easy, well, no, this is a difficult par 3 coming up, then a drivable par 4 after that. 223-yard par 3 back into the wind. It's like a Pinehurst green, nearly impossible. This is why we're having the team championship, because it's such a tough test of golf. 223 into the wind off the left. I'm gonna play 235 shot, want to land at 7 yards short. 228. It's gonna be a 6-iron, guys.
I would have said 6 as well.
Why would you have said a 6-iron, Chase?
I mean, I don't need to repeat what you said.
Really?
Yeah, we were on the same mind track though.
Oh, okay. So you should just caddy for me. Oh wait, that's right. You mogging me every single day when I'm videoing for the past 5 months, saying how I haven't won anything.
It was that extra push you needed. You're welcome. I'll actually take the trophy over to my house now.
6-iron, hit a nice draw. Wind's in off the left, 11 o'clock. Gonna hit a nice tight draw here. Oh, I kind of fudged it out to the right. Stop it, wind. Stop. Oh, wait a second. I got all the way there. That was actually struck really well. I think the wind may not be hurting. All right. So normally when I'm practicing, I hit 2 shots. 2 or 3 shots, even 3 shots sometimes. Sometimes I hit 4. I've hit 4 before in practice. And the reason is because if I've misjudged something, I'm trying to understand why. So I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. The wind is not hurting, and I'm gonna hit a 7-iron here. It's 223. I'm gonna land it short, 7 yards, 215. This is just a normal 7-iron, because that wind is actually not hurting. Now, that's where DeChambeau and having a great caddy comes into play, and hey, the wind switched this way or that way or whatever. It's huge. It's more important than you think. So right now, I'm gonna hit the same sort of shot. I struck it pretty well for a 6-iron actually, but just do it with a 7-iron. Now, it's almost turned back into it, so I might, this is just the game of golf. Sometimes it can turn in, sometimes it can go downwind. But I really believe a 7-iron here is gonna be way better, because long is not good, short's short, but I'd rather have it bounce up. Let's hit a 7 iron here. See what we got. Oh, be good. Well, it's getting smoked by the wind, I think, but no, it's there. Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah, so the wind was just off the left. I played too much wind into me, but that's also where I've got a foresight that I'll use most of the time. And I should be showing you guys that, because that truly dictates how far the ball went in this condition without wind, so I know where the wind is coming from. It's not great, Chase. It's not a great lie. It's firm, but it's not a great lie. I don't know how it's gonna come out, if it's gonna come out dead or not. That's super firm though. Let's see what I got here. The magic man, the wizard. Oh, I caught a rock. That's short. Well, that was perfect besides the distance. It was going right in the hole. This is about a 6-footer. I thought these greens would have rolled out just a little bit more, but they're looking nice right now. I can't wait for this tournament. Now this looks like it's gonna miss a little bit high. So I'm gonna play this a little bit softer. I might aim it just a little bit to the right. I'm saying a little bit a lot. That was perfect. Oh, I pushed it. All right, let's finish the other one out. So again, normally I'd be putting around different areas, you know, just getting a good feel of like what this is downhill, how it's rolling downhill, getting comfortable. I intently watch how that ball is rolling to see the speed at which it's going over the grass with, just to get my brain a good feel of how fast this putt's gonna be. And then I have my math behind the scene that I do as well. If it's on a 3% slope, it'll be halfway. If it's 20-footer, it's gonna be play 10 feet. I've got all that math as well, but I really wanna ingest that feel into my head so that I have a comfortable feel, and I also see it working from a mechanical side of the coin. Okay, it's 20 feet, I hit it 10 feet, I felt like I hit it 10 feet, and it went out 20 feet.
And that's just to prepare yourself for different situations or hole locations?
Completely different scenarios. It prepares me for every single scenario. And that's why, you know, I don't get frightened by going up and down hills and all that stuff. And, oh, is my feel off a little bit today? No, for example, on this putt, it's a 28-footer. Even though it's going downhill compared to my Stemp 11 system, I'm gonna play it close to 31 feet. Maybe just a little bit short of that, let's go 28 feet. That should be close to perfect. Maybe a little past. No, that's really nice. So I'm always just hitting a number, okay, 30 feet, boom, that's 30 feet. You know, so my brain is just locked into however far it needs to go. Look at that, boom, perfect. So that's a bogey there, guys, but I'm not worried about that, nor would I usually finish out a hole like that. I'm just showing you guys what I would kind of do and the mistakes I'd make to get ready for a major championship or any tournament in general. I think that's the most important thing you guys understand, is that score is sometimes not the most important thing. It's about you getting comfortable in every scenario on the golf course. That's what matters most in prepping for a tournament. 372-yard hole downwind. Now, normally, it's a practice round. Normally, you don't hit it 350 yards. You have to lay it up over the right. And if it's into the wind, I will definitely be laying it up. I cannot hit it that far. But since it's downwind, I'm gonna go for the green here. This is a 350 to 60-yard hole. I'm gonna pump driver up there and see how far I can get it up. So in a practice round, I would be hitting a shot, laying it up and seeing what I can do from there. So I'll show you guys. And normally I don't even hit a shot if it's not gonna be worth it. I'll just drop a shot where I know it's gonna be for the tournament, just to pick up the pace of play. But let's have some fun here. Oh, I Smokey Joe'd that one. That's just a little right of it, but that should be good. Go ball! Well, we'll see what that is, but that was just right of the flag from what I could tell. Well, the cool part about this now, since this is not like a formal challenge or anything, is that I'm showing you exactly what I do in a practice round. This is a prime example of what I would be doing, which is I'm gonna lay up for whatever reason. I'm gonna lay up and put myself in a perfect position for a wedge. But this is a tough shot. 171 from here, I'd probably be, yeah, that's about perfect. Yeah, I love this. 170, gonna play it 4 short, 66 downwind, and play a 160 shot. So I got it a full, just under a full 45 here. And I can hold the wind with this nice draw off the slope. So over the ball, that's kind of what I'm looking at is, okay, what's it doing now? Now I can't draw it as much. Gotta be aware of that. Hit just under full. That's a little long. That went super far. It's good to know. Let me throw one more ball down just to see how it's gonna react on the green. Again, this isn't my first ball either, so this is what I do in practice. Now, DeChambeau has a golf ball and he immediately throws it down quickly. So now I'm starting to get a better understanding of what the wind's doing, how firm the greens are. Don't just hit one and be content with just one, even if you hit it close. Sometimes I'll hit one really close and I'll hit it again. So I'm gonna play more of like a 155 shot. It's playing 12 downwind now. That's pretty money. Just get up a little bit and that should be perfect. Yep, see? So now my brain's getting acclimated to what I need to do in certain wind conditions off certain slopes. So this might be a 55-degree bunker shot. Not 55-yard shot, but 55-degree bunker shot. That's pretty decent right there. It's a little wet underneath, so I can give it a little bit of speed here. Square up the face a little bit. It's a 20-yard bunker shot. Yeah, they're super soft in here. That ran out probably 10 feet short. Something like that. I'm gonna hit another one just for fun. But it's super soft, so what do? You open the, if you've watched my other videos or video coming out, I actually say in this type of shot, I open the face up and I try to shallow it out and swing more aggressive. So I can go further up and out there. Should work better because the bounce is engaged, but I needed a 55 for that shot.
This would be the type of birdie look you'd be looking for in a tournament.
Every single time. But again, this is not where the pin's gonna be. I always know that. So I just usually probably go, I go quick. Sometimes if I'm really trying to work on my putting, I'll focus on these putts. But if I'm trying to get a good understanding of the golf course, I will rarely hit this putt and I'll just go everywhere and putt. 3-4 inches out there. Feel like that's pretty solid. Like Shia LaBeouf's caddy in The Greatest Game Ever Played. Francis Ouimet's caddy. Read it, roll it, and hole it. There you go. Let's go. And your shoelace got untied, Chase. Why don't you control yourself, okay? Control yourself, dude. Wow. All right, guys, this is a cool par 4. This is drivable. And it's a little off the right and helping, so I'm gonna hit a 3-wood to try and run it up to the green. You don't wanna be long here. What a cool track though, guys. I mean, this is awesome. I like this design. Be good. Go! Run up there! Run up there, darn tootin'. No, no! Wow. Maybe it is better to get it all the way up there. Okay, I'm gonna get it all the way up there just for fun. That was smoked, but just a little right. Turnover. It's in that green side bunker. So like that's not a bad play. And I'm gonna be trying to go for this every single day when the tournament's here. But what a great little hole, strategy hole, man. You can lay up and have like a nice wedge in, easy wedge in. Not too hard to hit the fairway, or you can go for it and get really messed up. I was wrong, you kind of almost want to be long here, and just a little left if anything.
Would you say where this stopped is much better than if it had rolled all the way down?
No, this is actually a better place than being in that bunker. So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it not rolling all the way back down, but it can, in the tournament it will, for sure. Make for some nightmare shots. Anyway, got about a 25-yard shot, gonna hit it 20 and let it roll up 5. On this shot too, I'm trying to like pick it and sweep it. I'm not going after it because I could hit it high in the face. Nah, I just slow today. Dang. That was a good shot, but not executed as hard as I wanted it to be. What a difficult shot here. Just gonna land this right over that mound. Softer bunker, so wide face. Try to pick it. Just like that. Go in. Go in. What? It's behind the hole. It's straight behind the hole. Well, not what I wanted here, but try to make this one get out of here with a nice birdie. Normally, this is where you make birdie and it doesn't look like I'm gonna do it, but most of the time you do. Like that. That was my second ball. Second ball always wins, usually wins. I got 18 feet here. It's into the grain, going right to left, straight putts over here. This is perfect. about 3/4 of an inch more than the cup. Oh! Adam, you made me miss that. No, it was Chase actually. Chase, your ghostliness messed me up. Here we have a par 5, dogleg right. Gonna be, hole 6, gonna be very difficult to get to the green from here. It is into the wind, and it's like 650, bro. Down the right center, wind is into us, a little bit off the right. Where'd that go?
Bounced hard.
Maybe left of the fairway. Normally I'd hit another driver, but I'd just be hitting a little bit more right. 297. Well, I'm a psycho, so I'm gonna go for it. Normally I wouldn't do it, but it's right over these trees. It's a 300-yard shot into the wind. I gotta go straight over these trees, and I gotta cover water. I'm gonna try and catch a jumper out of here to make this worth my while. Let's see if I got this. Normally I'd be laying up and you just gotta hit it over there and call it a day, but it's a practice round and just seeing where things go. Oh, that's gonna not get there. Well, guess what, guys? I don't have a 55-yard bunker shot. I've got a 72-yard bunker shot. I'm gonna show you guys how to hit the 72-yard bunker shot. Not the 55, 72. Gotta get a pitching wedge out first, okay? It's gonna be a big pitching wedge, chunk and run. Chunk and semi-spin, but like an 80-yard shot. Yeah, I suck. So the only other thing I could think of doing, because this is actually a very, very difficult shot, is if I had a good lie, I'd try to like punch it out of here, like pick punch it. So I'd do more of this shot. Like that. Which I would take that any day of the week. I'm gonna play it 1.5 feet right of the hole, 5 feet short, and it's gonna trickle back into the hole. You got that, Chase? Do you think I can do it?
Should be pretty simple.
Oh, I didn't hit it freaking left enough. Well, that's an easy tap in for a nice 5. Now, these bunkers are diabolical. Look at the bunker over there. You gotta take a look at these bunkers. Probably the most unique part of this golf course, Merido, is these little bunkers. They're like coffin bunkers. Look at this. If you go far past here, I mean, look at that lie. I mean, you got nothing right there. And this bunker. You guys ever seen a bunker like this? You're gonna be stepping in here and like, so these are the holes that really get me going. And what I mean by that is that I love this type of architecture. I think this is more about what golf is than any other type of architecture. It gets me,
Get you going.
it gets the people going. All right, it's gonna be like 90 yards. I don't think it's 60, but we'll bring it back. There's been a lot of golf tournaments that have tried to continue to move tees back. Continuing to move tees back. And I actually have a big counter argument to that. I think some of the greatest holes on earth are short par 3s. And we're just talking about par 3s. And you know, par 4s you can move back, par 5s you can move back, whatever. I get it, I understand certain things, hidden driver. But if you really want to check someone's skill set, give them a short hole. Kind of like 15 at the US Open, not this year, but last year. And the 15th hole, there was a 75-yard shot. And it was the most technically difficult shot I've ever had to hit in my entire life because I couldn't take any grass. I had to hit the ball perfectly clean. So it doesn't take a 230-yard hole to make this a difficult shot. And that's what I love, absolutely love about a golf hole like this. So we got 110 uphill, playing 115 into the wind, 116, 17. I'm gonna hit this just over 10 o'clock with a 50 degree and hopefully get this thing to spin a little bit, knock it right in there. Well, there's a lot more wind up there. Son of a gun. It's good to miss the green every once in a while because you want to get a better understanding of how the rough is going to interact between the club face and the ball. Long story short, it's good to practice out of the rough. It's just an easier way to say it. Chase would probably have said it that way. Yeah, I need to be more. Go. Ah. What I tell you, it doesn't need to be a 230-yard hole to have me make bogey. Oh my gosh, that broke. Wow. That broke a lot. See what I tell you? Don't have to be a long hole to make a bogey. That's better. Shoot. Second man always wins. Two more holes to go, guys. 2 more holes and a dream. All right, well, this is actually kind of a fun hole because it's 345 over the bunker on the right, and I want to try and go for this. I want to try and go for this green, actually. Kind of go for it. It's like 400, but I'm going to try and go over that bunker, those bunkers on the right. It's downwind, so I've got a chance here. Normally I'd be playing it out to the middle over there with an iron or whatnot and then having like a 150, 60 shot in, but let's have some fun today. Did you see it? Bunker? Ah, 142 downwind, gonna play like a 130 shot, which is a 50 degree at 1030. So again, to reiterate, I'm just dropping a ball where I normally would be in a tournament competition. And those other golf balls are just for fun to see what I can do. And actually see the ball, it's up on the lip over there. So.
Long.
Just a little long there. Wow. This golf course is pretty treacherous. I found my first ball right there. Flew the bunker, actually did fly the bunker. And I got a 64-yard shot. Green is going away from me. Small place to land it, out of the rough, downwind. This is the worst position I could have put myself in. So I now know that, unless I can get it all the way up by the green. Not a great place to be. But let's have some fun here, guys. 64, 65 yards. I'm gonna land this 50, 53. I'm gonna try and hit this high up in the air. So I'm gonna play like a 45-yard shot flop. 45-yard shot flop, probably. Yeah. Yeah. Don't be here. Now I know the green slopes front to back, especially where that pin is. Difficult to get close. So if you want to make a golf, here, I'll say this in architecture. If you want to make a golf course super difficult, slope the greens front to back and have it be minimally pitched. So you're always struggling to know kind of which way the green's sloping. You're gonna know which way it kind of is, but especially if you make it flat, you just don't know which way it's actually gonna go. That's a secret in design that most people don't know. They mainly pitch it from back to front, and pitching it front to back with a small slope, that can be so diabolical, guys. Chase, what happens if I make this? No, okay, so if I make this putt, you owe me $100.
Okay. If you miss it, you owe me 1,000.
I'll still take it though, but not with 1,000. I'm still gonna make it. Oh, it broke too much. I thought I made that and walked that in. He's rich. One more hole, gotta make a birdie to shoot into par, albeit if I knew the course and whatnot, easily be 3-4 under. All right, so this is actually gonna be the 18th hole for the team championship, which is a cool thing to show off today. It's usually hole 12, but they're mixing it up. So, and again, I don't know if it's final, but this is a sweet hole. Par 4, super far. I gotta go down the right-hand side here. Difficult, very difficult hole. Downwind though, not too bad. Gonna try and hug the bunker on the left-hand side here. See that land? That should be perfect. Right down the right center. 164, down off the left, playing 150, just over 1030, 45. Trying to keep it low. I want to land it about 4 or 5 yards short. 63 and land at 45. It's just gonna be a 1030 shot here. Got to hold the wind up off the left. So I'm gonna try and draw it up into the wind there. So I may just be barely over a 145 shot. Dude, my distances are all off. Holy crap. That's what it is, just getting comfortable. Now that I saw that, I'd probably needed to hit it like a pitching wedge, a little lower flighted. I had a lot of winds that were like crosswind today, and that's good to know. I need to go practice the crosswind shots for the British Open and make sure that I'm hitting at my distances with those crosswinds. So great info for today, especially leading into a British Open. All right, try to run one out here. Go just a little bit. Oh, no, that was a good shot. I'll take it. Even par. And you know what, guys, that was great practice prep for the British Open. Can't thank Marido enough for letting me out here and practicing a little bit and getting a better understanding of where the good parts of my game are and the bad parts of my game are. I know I need to go work on those crosswind shots. It's a big deal. If I'm gonna win the British Open, that is what I need to work on.